Hey everybody, welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades. Welcome to the channel from wherever you're tuning in from all around the world. Great to have you here. If you're looking to join the ever-growing community, please click on the subscribe button, smash the bell notification, and you'll be notified whenever there is a new episode that goes live. Also, if you haven't done so already, smashing the like, leaving a comment, question. I do look to get back to those as soon as possible. This just all helps grow the channel out there. So look, there's a few things that I wanted to talk about today. We're going to talk about a little bit of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So because we have the Ethereum ETF coming up. But first of all, with Bitcoin, there is options expiry tomorrow, Friday. The max pain for that is 55K. How do I feel about this? Certainly we could go down to the 55 to 56K region. And I have said all week since the Monday drop that we are either at a local bottom or pretty close to it. I do think any further drop to the downside is just opportunities to pick up more of your favorite projects at lower levels. I did also do a My Crypto cheat sheet update. It is now linked in the description, so you can check that out. I have all the buy levels and take profit levels on the way up as well, all the entry levels as well, and I've done a full video on that, so you can watch that video that was pushed out just recently. So obviously news came out that the German government was selling Bitcoin. We saw a bit of a dump, but also the US government started to sell some Bitcoin as well. There was 4,000 Bitcoin that was sent to the Coinbase Prime exchange, which is the OTC desk. What that means when Bitcoin is sold OTC is it's not released directly on the market. There is zero direct impact on price. So if I went onto the market and sold 4,000 Bitcoin just through a regular exchange, there would be an impact on the price. It does, however, it can indirectly impact the price because you might have a BlackRock that needs to buy some Bitcoin for its ETFs. And instead of buying off exchanges, if supply is a little bit low, it will say, hey, Coinbase, just sell me OTC. So they sell on the OTC desk and buy on the OTC desk. Generally, that's been the preferred way. So we've got the government selling, but it's OTC. But we also have whales that are accumulating. And so if we look here, despite the market FUD, the net inflow to Bitcoin's largest wallets reached its highest level since late May. So smart money has been buying the dip. Holders controlling at least 0.1% of total supply of Bitcoin added 7,130 Bitcoin, valued at approximately $436 million to the wallets yesterday alone. Okay, so this just shows us that whales are accumulating Bitcoin. And so for me, when the dip happened on Monday, I wasn't panic selling, I wasn't panic buying. I had my level set and I picked up some projects, including Ethereum, as I previously stated. Also, generally speaking, July has been a very, very bullish month. So if we look that every time Bitcoin has had a drawdown in June, it had an upswing in July, 2013, 18, 20, 21, and 22. Out of the 5 data points, it's returned 18.9% on average in July after the June drawdown. So you can see here, when there has been a June drawdown, there has been 100% of the time in history has been a green July. And I'm expecting a green July as well. I'm not anticipating that we get a red July. I would be shocked. I think it's much more likely based off this data. You know, where they say history doesn't always repeat, but it often rhymes. And so there you get. So that's kind of how it's looking. So Bitcoin is looking, in my opinion, fairly bullish on that. I'd also say that there was a huge net inflow into centralized exchanges, hit a 1-year high yesterday of 228 million. So there is something there. Obviously, the ETH ETF is upcoming and people are buying the dip. They're buying Bitcoin. Maybe there'll be a bit of a jump down to 55, 56, and people will pick up a whole bunch of Bitcoin. But I also believe people are buying the Ethereum dip as well. Okay, and before we go to Ethereum, I do want to just jump into the Bitcoin chart before we pivot away. And one of the key things that I'm looking for here, essentially, is if we look here, our before the breakdown happened here, we want to get above and make a higher low here, and we've got about 63,300 and change, somewhere around there. A break up above that would be confirmation for me that the local bottom was in. So even if we come back down and create a lower low here, I'm still looking at this level here to break above. So if you're a confirmation trader, what's a confirmation trader? Well, there's people that front run. And look, there's nothing wrong with buying the dip here, by the way, because do you want to wait until you're above here and then retest and then you buy? That's a confirmation trader. A confirmation trader is going to wait until this level here is broken, until there is a retest of this level, and then that's when they would enter the trade and take off, and they'd have a stop loss right below that. Right below that level, just in case the retest breaks down, and that's how a confirmation trade would work. Whereas if you want to try and front run it, or you're just dollar cost averaging, these would be the areas to enter. But we have created a nice higher low here. So let's see, first of all, if we get above this area here first and create another higher low, and then if we can get above this, that's confirmation to me. That's confirmation for me personally that we have that the local bottom is in. And like I said, this could happen after another dip comes down here, or maybe we just continue on from up here. We're going to see what shakes out over the next couple of days. All right, so let's jump into Ethereum. And so as far as Ethereum goes, the ETF is coming up. Now, there's a lot of Ethereum staked. 32 million Ethereum is staked. And there's only 12.2 million Ethereum on exchanges. So it's going to be very interesting to see if there's a little bit of a supply shock there with Ethereum. Either way, I think there is a trade to be had on Ethereum, and we're going to go to, and I was going to say before we go out on the Bitcoin chart, we can see that the 200 EMA on the daily has held beautifully here, and there's quite a few charts where we're seeing that the 200 EMA has held quite nicely here and been some good support. In fact, we could go back a long way and see that once we broke through that, it has kind of just guided the price almost, like, here you go, Bitcoin, keep going up. And then we finally had a retest, and I think that's fairly bullish there for me. So it'll be interesting to see if that does hold. Maybe, like I said, we'll have a bit of a breakdown below it. A wick down below it is quite possible. Maybe a retest of that before coming back up. And I would expect us to continue through to July, August, start to move out of this area. All right, so let's have a bit of a look at Ethereum. Let's go to my chart here for Ethereum. Okay, because I do have some fib levels in here. Okay, so Ethereum, what are we seeing here? Well, we're seeing that, again, the 200 EMA was a great area to have collected some Ethereum before it took off on the ETH ETF news that it was going to be approved and listed. Since then, we've had a comeback, and if we look at the price here on Ethereum, we are under the 50-day moving average here at around about 3,500, and on the 4-hour, we are actually also below the 200 EMA. We have created a little bit of a higher low there, certainly, but these are the areas so again, if you're a confirmation trader, you would wait for a break above that, a retest, then you would enter the trade with a stop loss underneath. However, if you're like me and you front run because you feel that the chances of that happening are very high, because when the ETH ETF lists, there should be a good amount of interest, that there is a front run, and that I picked up levels, down at around 3,300. I picked up some more Ethereum and added that to my bag. So that's some very interesting news there. So certainly if we do come down a little bit lower, I have some buy orders in at around, actually, let's just zoom out here. So for Ethereum, I have some buy orders in at around 3,100 here at the fib level. Yep, here. And then I have some more buy orders down here at this Lux Algo order block at around 3,000. Those are the two buy level areas that I have. Of course, that would mean that we would, and this is why I also have it around the 3,100 mark, because the 200 EMA on the daily is down there as well. We could wick down into there though, and that 3,000 order might get picked up there. So that could end up being quite a good little trade there. So yeah, so there is some thoughts that there could be a little bit of a supply shock on there. Okay, just a really short update on Bitcoin and Ethereum. We've